Well, everybody, we're glad to be here one more time. We are one more video blog before we take off from the Kansas Safe and Prepared Schools Conference. Sitting with Jessica Noble. Jessica Noble is the director of the Drop-Ins program that's going on with the Kansas Department of Education. It's actually an offshoot from when they had the Dropout Summit literally 1 year ago. And that year ago, it was America's Promise Alliance brought together the Dropout Summit to Kansas. It was very effective, and from that, a lot of great things are coming. There's a lot of planning, a lot of strategizing that's come from that. I just got done attending Jessica's workshop, and in regards to that, it was just many attendees. She's sharing some of the data about what they're learning, kind of the input. Talk a little bit about that video, and where did that, was that part of the Dropout Summit from last year?
It was.
Share a little bit about some of the comments that the students made.
Sure. Well, as a part of our Dropout Prevention Summit last year, we created a Kansas Drop-Ins Advisory Council. And one of the components of that council was the youth advisory panel that we had at the summit. So one of the things that we saw from the video were that teachers were stereotyping the young people. So based on previous encounters that they had had with a sibling or another family member, they felt like that was the same scenario that they were going to get from that student, and that's just not true. We also heard about students who feel like they're not a part of the process, so they're not getting their input heard, they're not being asked to provide input on things that are going on in the school. The decisions are all made by the principals and the district level staff, and they really want to be engaged and active in that process as well.
You say that, actually this weekend right now, the Education Nation is going on. I don't know if you know about that.
Yeah.
It's on MSNBC. For those of you who have not seen it, the whole thing is being webcasted too, so you can go back and watch it. One of the comments made yesterday that I saw on Twitter come through, and that was someone said, teachers, you just can't go and say, here's your product and let people go and that's it. I said, because that doesn't happen in real life business. It doesn't happen to professional doctors. Someone said, I go, yes, it's called, if you're not good as a doctor, I won't come back to you. Well, why should that be any different? I want my children to go to the greatest teachers in the school. And it's kind of like, I've heard the scenario before about, have you ever found out if your doctor was like real up in his class or was he real low in his class? Are you great at what you do? What an impact, great teachers make a great impact on their students. We heard on that video about, man, I couldn't even think about, oh boy, how exciting is American history? And She goes, but my teacher was fired up about American history. Just hearing that, the kids get it. They know, they know if a teacher loves what they do or they don't love what they do, and what an impact that is. That was just a neat piece of that video.
Yeah, and that really plays a lot into the evaluation that the young person also talks about. So a lot of times teachers feel like maybe they're on their own, but the students are willing to give that positive feedback that they're looking for. So ask them to evaluate them, to tell me what I could do different. Ask the school to implement professional development in the area maybe that you're weakest in. It's not a fight that you have to go alone.
Accountability though, it's for anybody.
Right.
It's hard to be accountable. It's hard to, but I've been trained, I know. But if you want to keep getting better, you need feedback.
Right.
And reality is, my wife's a 5th grade school teacher. Her principal does not have a lot of time to go spend all day in her class and provide her great instruction on how she can be better at it. That's just part of life in our public school system, is it's hard to get, while professional development is you go typically and learn, and then hopefully you go back and implement. Unlike in the sales and marketing field that I've been in, your manager went along with you all day long, helped you, trained you, watched you, communicated, gave you feedback so you could get better. Not all teachers get that.
Right.
And so if you've also been so many years of not receiving that kind of evaluation, that's a real stretch. It's valuable because your customer is your student. The reality, from the quote business standpoint, your student is your customer.
Right.
And you do want them to be able to connect and grow and learn. So that's a great comment they gave back. I'll be able to evaluate. You talked a little bit about the Search Institute, and that they're kind of pulling some information together.
Right.
Now we value what they've done with the 40 developmental assets. We are fully engaged and believe that they understand what children need and what every child needs to have the chance to become successful. What were some of the data you guys pulled in regards to that they kind of done evaluation of multiple studies?
Sure, they had done an evaluation of multiple studies around school climate. And what they found was that when you have a caring school climate, that kids are more likely to be engaged, their attendance goes up, they have less disciplinary referrals, less feelings of anxiousness or loneliness, less substance abuse. They're progressing through the grades like they're supposed to be. So positive, caring school climate really does affect student engagement and their ability to be successful.
Absolutely. One of the other things that we talked about was just simply, and we'll kind of wrap it up here, is that a caring family, folks, you cannot hit it enough. Families, if you will engage in your child and let them know you believe in education, you value it, and when you help support that, there's so much that goes. When that child knows that there's an expectation level, that you will go through school and you will be there every day. It goes back to America's Promise Alliance. They kind of have four pillars or four things they talk about with the Casey Foundation. They say, you know what, you have to attend. If you don't go there, you can't learn. So attendance, then you have to attach. There's a way that child attaches at that school that they have to feel like I belong. There's something along that way that I attach to. It could be sports, band, whatever, someone, chess club, I don't care what it is. They have to attach and want to be there every day. Then they talk about that they have to, I think it was attendance, attachment, achievement, and then attainment. So achievement is getting that graduation done, but then where do we go from there? What am I going to attain? What are the goals and how do we help them see that? So again, but that's why drop-ins. I mean, how critical is this, that we cast that vision that all schools believe everybody graduates? How do we get everyone to read, going through math, get everything done so they can make it and make it happen? So Jessica, I appreciate the time today. Thanks for making time for us. All right,
Certainly.
thank you. Take
Thank
care.
you.